Toney talks again. Oh, God, it's come back again, hasn't it? Why? I'm going to explain why, actually, and why I think we may actually even entertain talks for Ivan Toney. Loads of details on that one. So I'm a tad late, guys. I was gathering some more information. Ulmand possibility now as another holding midfielder, but Romano saying it's Amrabat or Ugarte, why Amrabat is more favourable, and does link in with the Toney situation. Mazraoui and the situation there with Bayern Munich. Plettenberg has just quoted something literally in the last 10 minutes as well. We're going to get into that, and possibly a tiny little bit of an issue along that side as well. And where Manchester United are actually up to. Young academy players signing contracts in Ennis and now Mava. Great news there. We'll talk about that and the future of the football club and that side of things. But yeah, we are starting with the bigger news, the bigger stories, which are the Ivan Toney one. Manchester United's search for a central midfielder. It has gone completely dead on the centre-back situation. We talked about the possibility of Chalobah this morning. De Ligt looks pretty much dead unless United do pump up some more money to Bayern. Both in a complete standoff at the moment there. So let's get into the details. Let's get involved, guys. Also, I do have the winner of the 50k giveaway. The name is right in front of me. I'm going to announce it at the end of this show, so stay tuned for that. Winning the Manchester United shirt for this season, courtesy of the Kitman. By the way, guys, Kitman link is in the description. Get your discount as well. The best shirts, all football jerseys, international and club level from him. Link in the description with our discount code FUTV. Get onto it if you want them there. But let's get into what's happening. Give the video a like. Subscribe to Forever United TV to make sure that you are in the know on everything going on with Manchester United. And there's plenty to know about as well. As always, loads more stuff and more information has come out over the last hour or so regarding Manchester United possibles, situations and whatnot. Samuel Luckhurst has also come out and said that Manchester United are still open to selling Jadon Sancho. Yeah, honestly, right now with that, until the offer comes in, I don't think Manchester United are going to move. If we're not going to use him as a make weight for Ugarte, then I don't think Jadon Sancho is going to be sold. I mean, Ten Hag has had his say, and this really is now, I think, possibly where Manchester United's manager Ten Hag and Ineos start to come to a bit of a head, possibly in terms of disagreements and not everyone being on the same page. But we've seen positives through this summer. Hopefully they can sort it out by the time the season starts. We have a good squad heading out to the States. Not everyone is going because of international duty, but they are looking to add to that. Most of the players we're looking to add would have been on international duty anyway and can't go out. So no real issue there at all. But Ivan Toney is where we're starting today. And Manchester United apparently ready to open talks with Ivan Toney. The stories come from Gimme Sport, which says, according to the report, United could offer Brentford striker Ivan Toney the chance to move to Old Trafford this summer. United have already strengthened their attacking options ahead of the upcoming campaign, drafting in Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna. However, United are yet to rule out the prospect of adding another striker to their ranks, and Toney has regularly been linked with a move to M16, postcode of United, if you didn't already know, in recent weeks. It is reported United are considering entering talks with Brentford and the forward if his price tag drops below 40 million. His contract at Brentford is due to expire next summer. Now, we've already talked about Toney before. We did a show, I think, just over a week ago now, as a surprise sort of bid from Manchester United. And why we would do it? The priorities are elsewhere. We need a defender. We need a fullback. We need a central midfielder. Why would we even look at that? Well, the only reason that these have come about is because we know that Ivan Toney has made it clear. In that show we did do, we said that Ivan Toney was looking and wanted to move to Manchester United. So he made his position clear. He wants to go to United. No one else has really moved for him. And Brentford are in a position now. And yes, Thomas Frank has come out and said Toney's going to cost a lot. The reports that they are entertaining bids of around 50 million. United won't go near that either. But the fact that Toney has now come out and said, look, I am not going to sign a new deal. Brentford want to offer him a new deal. He has refused a new deal. This is why talks have started to come about again, and sort of rumours are doing the rounds as such with Ivan Toney and Manchester United again, simply because he said he wants to go to United. He's refused a contract extension, and Brentford are going to end up losing out on Ivan Toney. They could be at a situation where they've got a player that doesn't want to be there, who doesn't perform. They haven't got a lot of money to spend anyway, and if they are dicing with death one more season and they do go down this season, they could be looking at a situation where they get relegated and Toney leaves for free. Now, can they take that risk? That's what we've got to look at with Brentford and the Toney situation. And will they jump at the chance to take 40 million this summer, reinvest it, and try and actually strengthen the squad in other departments? That's the conundrum that Brentford are in. And this is why this story has come about again. This is why Manchester United are being linked with Toney, because they said he wants to go. He said he wants to go, and United would be open to a deal if the right price came about. As always, if there are decent players out there, United are always interested in them. Of course we are. We're United at the end of the day. It's what happens all the time. But right now, we know we're dealing with the lower sort of market value players after what we've already spent. And the situation we were discussing earlier on with Manchester United actually looking to really watch the pennies and be very, very careful as to meeting PSR rules and everything like that, which is why we've looked at United not putting another bid in above what Bayern Munich want for Matthias de Ligt. And obviously, with Ugarte and that now being at loggerheads with PSG, confirming no more. PSG are pretty much all but done with the João Neves deal and getting him over the line. That's pretty much their finished, sealed, everything in place. I'm even seeing pictures of him in the kits. Yes, they've been made up through AI and stuff like that, but it's looking like this is pretty much down the line, far down, done now for João Neves. They're holding out for what they need for Ugarte. Clearly, if they've already brought in João Neves, they're in no mad panic if it's not affecting their money to go towards getting João Neves. So, looking at that, I would say that Manchester United right now, and what Romano has said in terms of all of the stuff going on with midfielders, obviously we talked yesterday about Zubimendi and Fofana. That situation is not going to materialise. Romano has come out and said it's Amrabat or Ugarte. They are the names that Manchester United are in conversations with right now, and that's definite conversations, not just names put out and could be if but maybes or anything like that. We are now in a position where we know we're talking to Amrabat to make another loan deal. We know we're talking to Ugarte. United want to loan him as well, but PSG don't want to do it. United won't meet the asking price for PSG's valuation of Manuel Ugarte. We know that's where we're at right now with it. So, that all being said, is that conversation about bringing Amrabat in on loan again now making United think, you know what, Amrabat in, Collier in, could we get another forward in and use the money there in Ivan Toney? You start to think all of these different scenarios, don't you? And we put it all together as fans and start discussing, like, why would we be doing this? As United's tactics changed. Now, we're only saying it simply because United have been very, very reactional in this transfer market. They're not just sitting there doing nothing. If something doesn't work out, there's always another option. We've talked about that loads. And could this be a different approach for Manchester United? Could they be looking at 40 million for Toney instead of putting that into a midfielder and saying we bring Amrabat back in on loan, and Manchester United then have the money to spend on a forward again? I think we're stacked in the forward situation, and without moving Jadon Sancho on, I think United have got a problem. So if you ask me right now in terms of Ivan Toney, can we afford him? I think we can at the right price, but we're not going to because we've got Jadon Sancho still. And it goes back to the comment I said at the top. Samuel Lucker saying that Jadon Sancho at Manchester United are still open to selling Jadon Sancho. Why has there been nothing done with PSG already? If we knew PSG wanted to take Jadon Sancho, why is nothing materialising? Well, it could in time, yes. We could still see an outcome with this. But what you've got to also look at is, like, why have United not taken the opportunity? Like, if we know and we're deep in the conversation and we have been for so long with Ugarte, why has Jadon Sancho not come out? Even no one's reporting. Romano's not reporting it or anything. Not even looking at Jadon Sancho being used in part of the deal for Manuel Ugarte. There's loads and loads and loads of stories that could possibly be there that are not. And it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? Right now, Manchester United, I think, are rediscussing everything with what can be done with this transfer window. Ugarte is happy to go to United. That's why they're probably pursuing that more than anything else. We know that Amrabat wants to come to United also. So they're two players that they know the player is fully invested in going to United in. And that's why we're talking to them. Not Fofana and not Zubimendi. It's just contact made. in the other two, and that's it. That's where United are at, and I don't think it's going to go past that with them. I really don't, because if you listen to what Damasio has been saying as well, Damasio has also said that the Monaco situation with Fofana was that Milan had a deal pretty much ready-made around about the 17 million mark, commitment, payment down, and that was looking like moving ahead. United have caught wind of this and got in themselves, but now Monaco have basically just said, nope, let's put the United tax on top of this, and there we go. Manchester United are in, let's put a big fee on him again, and that's now gone up to 35 million. So what the hell is going on? What's happened? And it's all changed all of a sudden. Everything right now for Manchester United seems to be, right, we've hit the mark with the first two signings. We've got them done. But now that we are low on funds, we've got to a stage where we're now having to think outside of the box. We're now having to think, right, there's a deal going on there with Fofana. Maybe we can jump in on this and give a little bit more. And then as soon as we've come in, Monaco have gone, oh, opportunity, bang, there goes the price. United tax is back. And just walk away. Forget it. And that Fofana is a no-go if they are looking to bump that price up. If there was a deal in place with AC Milan already, and then United have come along and gone, we're interested in similar sort of deal, and maybe we could offer maybe 4 or 5 million more, make this happen. And now Monaco have bumped the price up. You walk away straight away from that for me. Forget it. See you later. Don't even take the piss. That's how I would be treating that situation. And that's your midfield situation summed up pretty much there. So let's get into the comment section and see what you guys are saying. Cheers for the 100 likes, guys. Let's see if we can get that up. Let's see if we can get 250 to 300 live likes on the show today. Let's see if we can get 500 in total on this after the live is finished as well. I can see a lot of you commenting and saying about Ugarte and things like this. Stu says, stick with Amrabat for me. Amrabat, I don't know what that says. Kieran says there, Amrabat's not going to cost 15 million. That's okay because he played with us a bit. There's like a bit of a typo going on there, mate, with that one, but I sort of got the gist of that. To be honest, I don't really trust Romano. He kind of just repeats a lot of stuff, then hopes onto a trend. So, for example, if Ornstein reveals something, there has been an element of that with a lot of the stuff that has come out recently as well. But hey, look, he's usually, like we said, like, he gets his information, he's well connected now, and when he's saying that Man United are talking to someone, you can pretty much guarantee that they are talking to someone. But he does, like you said, he sort of makes sure that everything is secure before he comes out and says anything. If we are going with Amrabat or Ugarte, then it means Casemiro stays for sure. Mixed feelings with it. It's a weird one because, like we talked about yesterday with Casemiro, the Saudi Pro League definitely has not got the same sort of feel for bringing in as many players as it did last summer. Their quota of foreign players seems to be at a limit near enough, and there's not as much space. Maybe there's not as much money to spend on the foreign players. But yeah, Casemiro seems to be dead in moving. So it does look like we could be in the more realistic position that Casemiro is staying at Manchester United next summer. Rather put all the money available into a DM, says Reg. Mark says, we need to stick and not twist. Keep that keep what we have and go for a better option in another area. As in, what? Like, keep Amrabat, go buy another fullback, something like that, or put the money into a centre-back. Michael Keane says, Fofana is not mobile enough. Ugarte would be the better choice if Rashford goes by Toney. Rashford's not going anywhere, I'm afraid. United are open, and they have given the ultimatum to Sancho or Marcus Rashford. But if they have given the ultimatum to him and said, look, you need to make your mind up, where do you think they're going to go? It's pointless. United need to make this happen. But I just don't think Ten Hag is willing to push players out of the door. I just don't think he is. He said he's given the option to Harry Maguire. He said, look, you're going to be third or fourth choice. It's up to you. It should be, we want to move you on because we need to move forward. You're not going to be playing. Simple as. If he's got an idea of a player being third or fourth choice, I would say, look, move him down to like fifth and sixth and just make it very clear that your game time is going to be considerably less this season. They just need to start moving things along, but you come up against that brick wall of player power. Then not so much player power, but player contracts, which have all of the power, it seems, in all of this. Kaz and Adam going on holiday again. They've been to more destinations than Ryanair. We're actually taking Ryanair. Yeah, we fly out tomorrow night, but hey, content carries on. Remember, guys, it is a nice breakaway, but we're still doing the content. It still keeps coming. Genius here. Adam may be active, but we aren't selling any players for some decent money. Look, we're never going to be able to sell players for decent money. We're never going to be able to. We have to accept that this is what it is, and accept that before we bought a load of shit, which is why we haven't been competing, and now nobody wants that shit. So what do you expect to happen? United have to take the hit. And if opportunities come around, they are all over him, which is the only reason I really wanted to talk about Toney at the start. Just as if you're in that boardroom, if you're at that meeting, a recruitment meeting or whatever at Carrington right now, and you're looking at the environment around the transfer market and what's going on, you're looking at Ugarte, too much money. Look, we have not got that money. We cannot afford to spend nearly 60 million on a midfielder right now. We haven't got the resources. We cannot get rid of players. Casemiro and McTominay don't want to go. Manchester United are struggling to move them players on. So what do? You have to accept that we have to look elsewhere. We have to think outside the box again. And that might mean another loan for Amrabat. Like I said before, Collier coming through from the ranks as another option further down the line if we do get injuries. Look, you would then have Amrabat, Casemiro and Collier. And we don't know how well Collier is going to play. When he comes in, he could tear it up. We just don't know. But we also don't know if we spend 60 million on a player that he is going to tear it up in a United shirt. And this is the problem that we're dealing with now from what we've had before. United took the risk. They gambled on a lot of players just to put faces in shirts and get them out on the pitch. Should we not just calm ourselves down and go, look, is it better to wait and see if options do come up better for us in our first and second choice next summer? I.e., look, we could be coming up to the same scenario again where we get a Xerxes and a Euro, but next year at centre-back and holding midfield. That's what you have to look at. Amrabat has done a job for United already. We know he can do a job. He did a brilliant job in the final. If he can keep that up and Ten Hag trusts in playing him, then maybe Casemiro has to be the make weight if he wants to stay. It all comes down to the power of the manager and him managing this squad for me. And if he can get the best out of them. Because there is enough there to get top four. We know this. There is more than enough to get top four there. Effectively, you could say he's got another tool in Jadon Sancho next season. Another option up front in him. So, yeah, there's plenty there. Look, we're still only, about halfway through the transfer window. So I think people just need to calm down a little bit. There's definitely no cause for panic here with Manchester United right now. We've got the two main targets in. We're pretty safe there. We just need to look at the rest of this window with our eyes open and go, you know what? We have to be a little bit sensible and clever with what we do. And that's what I think United are doing right now. I'm just going to check up. I've just got a couple of updates coming through, guys. See that? Yep, Kaz has just sent me a reminder about Obi Martin. Yeah, I did talk about Obi Martin this morning as well, but just to update you guys again on that one, Manchester United looking very, very comfortable in securing the services of the 16-year-old wonder kid from Arsenal. So I'm going to keep the good news flowing. So, I mean, we've signed up Mava as well today. He has signed up to a new contract to 2027. This is a good player who has only just come back from injury. He was part of the Kobe Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho FA Youth Cup winning side. But injuries have just scuppered his chances of progressing in the same way. But he was a massive part of that team. So keep an eye on that one. That's a good signing for Manchester United in Mavo. Definitely excited to see more game time with him. Excited to see Collier. Obviously, we've got a lot of young lads coming through right now. And you know what? Everyone talks about Manchester United going back to their DNA, going back to their real foundation. But all anyone is moaning about is players, no one's coming in. We only made 2 signings. It's not enough. Give it chance. Just, like I said, if we're at the end of the window and we haven't managed to move players on, then we'll assess it all then. But let's just let this window play out first of all. And if you want to look at the facts and where we're at right now, I think United are in a sensible, comfortable position. They're not willing to pay the fee for Matthias de Ligt that Bayern Munich want. They're not willing to pay the fee for Manuel Ugarte that PSG want. They say it's too dear. United know how much money they've got. They're not going to go into that revolving credit facility, which is destroying the football club with interest payments that Murto and Arnold set up with the Glazers. They're not willing to do that. So are we not trying to fix the wrongs that came before and not make Manchester United go over the edge again, not make the same mistakes again? Look, that's where everything is at right now. I'm definitely not panicking. I'm not worried about everything that's happening at United right now. I think we're in a good position. I'll keep saying it on every single stream. Like, there's plenty of time to go. Plenty of time to go. We have a super chat in from Mark Lambridge. Thank you, Mark. Starting CDM is Casemiro for the season. Here we go. Are you really concerned if it is Casemiro, though? Honestly, Mark. Is it a massive issue? Has anyone got a big issue with Casemiro being the starting CDM this season? Just tell me now and tell me why. Do you feel like he has still got something? Do you not want to see him come back and all of this extra training and coming back even fitter and ready to go? Do you not want to see what that looks like in a United shirt going into the season ahead? I understand, look, it's time to move Casemiro on, I agree. But is it the end of the world? Can Toby Collier be our number 6 this season? He's going to get a chance to, Rashid. He's going to get a chance to. Cheers for the super chat, mate. And another one from Tom Porter says, trust in Ineos 100%. In terms of Collier coming through and being, look, he'll get the opportunity. I think Ten Hag has put a lot of trust in Collier. And look, everybody knows my opinion of Ten Hag, but one thing I've not had an issue with is youth players coming through into Manchester United. If he wants to trust in another young player coming through who he thinks can definitely impact Manchester United this season behind the likes of Casemiro or Amrabat, even if we get him in on loan again, and it costs United nothing, and we don't go out and panic buy and bring in another player, then I'm totally behind Ten Hag on that. I've got no issue at all with younger lads coming through. And not being straight into the first team to answer that question, that's not right. Like, obviously, Mainu was eased in. Garnacho was eased in. I would love to see Collier get maybe 5 to 10 games this season, covering in games just to give other big players a rest. It's players like that allow you to rotate players like Casemiro and not burn them out. And maybe come the summer, when we can go back to PSG and go, what? Well, we didn't agree with that this season for Ugarte, but here we go again. No one else has come in for him, so here's an even cheaper offer. This is Omar Barada at work here. I'm telling you right now in this standoff, and United not paying the money. He will not do it. He will not do it. Mark, back with another super chat. I appreciate you doing it in super chat as well, mate, by the way. I really do. In return to the Casemiro starting. No, I think he is still the best. Just had his first bad season I've ever seen him have, but so did most of the team. Yet the fan base want to blame him. You know what? It's not Casemiro's fault. He had shit games last season. I blamed him for a few mistakes that were made. I said I'm worried about Casemiro. I do agree that this year would be the right year to send him away because we can get the most money for him. The longer it drains down to the end of his contract finishing, the less money you're going to get. But what do you expect Ineos to do with that situation? Honestly, it's not their fault. So people going on Ineos, it's just Sir Jim Radcliffe is just another puppet. It's like, seriously? Come on. Like, wake up a little bit. Like I said before, you're halfway through the transfer window. People who are saying like it's panic stations and things like that are just, honestly, they just need to just look at what we're dealing with. There's nothing to worry about just yet. We have plenty of young lads coming through. And do you know what? If the season starts, we haven't brought in Ugarte, but Collier comes through, a lot of people will be like, whoa, I'll tell you what, I'm glad we didn't get Ugarte now because we'd never see what Collier could really do. There's always a silver light. There's always another way. It's not just panic and getting an actual name. You may have the name. He just may need a couple of years to come through. And then the whole picture looks different. Just trust in what Manchester United have done for years well, which is bring through quality players from that youth academy. Last season, Manchester United's season was saved by 2 young academy players, in my opinion. So yes, let's just give it time anyway. On another super chat from Aminor says, did you see Saeed's US videos? Are you going out there? No, I did see Saeed's videos. It was, it's not funny, but was at the same time, if you know what I mean by him getting stuck at customs in the US. But yeah, no, I'm not going out on the US tour. I'm saving myself for maybe what's to come. Bigger things are to come. Regarding the next few years. So yes, I'm covering it all from home, guys, and like I said, it's only a short one as well, and with everything else that we've got going on, we decided not to do that one this time. Our midfield was dead last year. Yes, it was, but why did Ten Hag not give Amrabat the run of games that he could have? Has he seen something in Amrabat at the end of last season that he's now going to bring forward this season to help Manchester United? You could possibly see that. Let's see. The Muppet Show says, many thought Matic was finished, but turned it around and gave us a season or 2 of decent performances and contributed to the team a lot. So if we keep Cas for 1 more season, he might find his legs again. Look, Casemiro can see out a full season at Manchester United if Ten Hag is willing to rotate. Like, if you're willing to bring in Amrabat for Casemiro or Collier for Amrabat, play him in the games that you don't need people in. Do you know what I mean? You don't need Casemiro every single game. You've got to be able to utilise your squad, and you've got to be able to get the most out of every single player. Rotation is the way forward. Our friend, Mr. Nubian, is back. Wow, mate, absolute legend. Super chats. Great update. Thank you, mate. I like to keep it real. Massive appreciation to you, mate. I love that. Love people who come on and drop mega super chats like that. It just means everything to the channel and helps us move forward again. Brilliant, mate. Really appreciate it. Absolute legend of a man. Legend. Slowly coming up the ranks to be, well, he's actually probably there, isn't he? He's like ultimate legend. He does it on a few channels as well, so you've got to give the man credit. Thank you, mate. Awesome. Thank you very much. I wanted to move on to the story regarding Mazraoui. Yeah, that's where I was going with it. Mazraoui. Now, we know the situation with Mazraoui. There is a update from Florian Plettenberg on this, and very interesting update as well. And it reads this. I'll let you guys decide and then see if you agree with what I'm going to say after I've read this out as well. But if Mazraoui is to leave Bayern Munich now, the only way is via direct sale or loan with an obligation to buy. Mazraoui does not want a loan. He's focused on a permanent deal. Negotiations between Bayern Munich and West Ham are ongoing. No agreement yet. Bayern demand €20 million all in. Manchester United still there, but they have to sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka first. You can see the problem we've got there. It comes back down into the conversation again of Manchester United not being able to move players on. And United not being able to move players on means that we cannot negotiate to bring in players in. We thought that Aaron Wan-Bissaka was going to West Ham. West Ham are negotiating with Bayern Munich. So have we lost an offer for Wan-Bissaka now? Do they see Mazraoui as the better option for West Ham? Is that where they're going now? Because if they're going there, we've lost a buyer for Wan-Bissaka, and West Ham have got a snookered. They can negotiate at will with Bayern Munich because United are stuck behind Wan-Bissaka. So really, again, the conversation we had the other day about what's better, keeping Wan-Bissaka or taking Mazraoui, Ten Hag apparently, and this is just a quote, it's a rumour. I'm not saying Ten Hag has come out and said this, but people have been saying, I've seen it a couple of times over the last day and a half, of Ten Hag sees Mazraoui as the key to opening the door to Antony and rekindling that form and that link up that they had at Ajax. Bollocks is all I'll say to that. I can't see that. I can't see Ten Hag even coming out and saying that. That is complete made up nonsense. It really is. There's no story there at all. There's absolutely no story there. And even if he did, like, are you gonna play Antony for 4 or 5 games in a row, which it's gonna take for him to build up that rapport? So whoever reported that, or whoever came out with that, seriously, like, no one is believing it. If you are believing it, then you're going to drop Ahmad, you're going to drop Garnacho to give Antony 5 or 7 games to work with Masraoui to try and get his form back at a risk that it might not even come back, and how much damage is going to happen in them 7 games? Sorry, no, that's not going to happen, is it? Ten Hag didn't say it. It's made up. It's complete and utter garbage. It's got nothing to do with Antony and why Masraoui is coming into Manchester United. Just my opinion. Shout me down if you want to, but I think that's complete and utter nonsense, guys. It really is a nothing story. If West Ham want the same right back as us, how is it an upgrade? Says Mark Lambridge on the Super Chat. This is the problem. West Ham want Masraoui to be a first-team right-back. Manchester United want him to be a fill-in when Dalot is not available. That's the difference, I would say, Mark. United looking at building the squad and a necessary player in position. They don't see Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a productive right back going forward like Dalot is. Obviously, Dalot was giving Aaron Wan-Bissaka game time last season because he was covering on the left. So Wan-Bissaka, I think, like, if he goes to West Ham, it's first team. Masraoui going to West Ham, first team. Both players at Manchester United are second fiddle to Dalot. So that's why I think Manchester United and West Ham are going for the same player. United value him at a different level, I feel, than what West Ham do. And I think that's it. I think West Ham are negotiating with Bayern Munich, and they're probably talking to the player using them sort of lines as well. Similar to like what United did with Yoro, like, we give you game time. You're going to get game time. Antony wants Masraoui to help him do more spins. Says Dill. Ramo, we should sign Kadoglu, both-footed, can play both sides, can cross, can play as centre-back and on the wings as well. I would look at that. I would go Lindelof the other way, make weight. Like, honestly, we're all playing FIFA and Championship Manager right now. We're all looking at it from a United fan perspective, and what we see is obvious. It's clearly not that obvious. There's a lot more to the detail that we don't know about, which is how it should be. We know this. By the way, guys, please give the video a like. We're creeping up to the 200 mark. I did say I wanted 250 to 300 likes while we're live. Thank you, everybody, for being on the show again. Make sure that you do give the video a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You will be in the know with everything going on with Manchester United. Always, every single day, live 3 times a day, guys. So get onto it. Kadoglu cost 30 million. Says, yeah, I mean, look, there is definitely a possibility of bringing him in. Jose Mourinho doesn't want to lose him, and Manchester United really are going to have to use Lindelof and a little bit more to try and get him over the line. Pogba was more attacking. I'm not sure. Oh, that's a different conversation. Sorry. Has the Frankie de Jong rumour started yet? They started yesterday, Mark. Apparently United are willing to put in a bid. It's crazy, isn't it? Cornish Maid says, as you say, Adam, we need to just relax. The window will work out. Still plenty of time. Like, no one's done the same business that United have done. Someone actually came in a comment to me earlier on the earlier show saying, look at the United fans now saying that United are the oracle when it comes to transfer windows and everything like that. No. Andrew, to answer that question, definitely not, mate, in the chat. That's never going to happen. And let's see what else we got here. Don't we have a small team somewhere affiliated to Ineos that can buy players off us and on loan and loan them to us? Yes, that would be nice. That would be nice. That would be nice. Aaron Wan-Bissaka wants to go back to London and is in the last year of his contract, says Macmillan YouTube. Yep, he does. He wants to go back, but obviously West Ham are not as keen to take him. Will Crystal Palace come in? Do they need him? There's a lot to take into consideration. Why are people not wanting Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Why are United having to lower the price so much to get rid of him? I'll ask that question. And that should answer why Manchester United are stagnating in some people's eyes in this transfer window. We cannot buy because we don't want to put money on the revolving credit facility that's there, that was in there with Murto and Arnold and the Glazers, which was just heaping interest onto the club again. And we want to sell players to bring players in. This method only works if players want to leave that are on these contracts. We've managed to get rid of a few for a little bit of money, and we've tied down a few contracts with young academy players. By the way, Bruno Fernandes talks will open after this window for a new contract. PSG cannot afford Bruno. It's off the table. The Saudi Pro League have been told that Bruno is not leaving Manchester United. That's off the table. The only two realistic outcomes there for Bruno leaving. Our new contract is going to be negotiated, which everybody needs to be looking at because this is a big one. Bruno on what? $250 a week right now at Manchester United. It's a lot. It is. And he's going to be entering his 30s by the time this next contract negotiated finishes. So looking into that, you would say, right, let's see what Ineos are really made of and how they negotiate a performing player who's on big wages already and see what happens there. That's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. There is a story regarding Yulman as well. I'm just going to get into that quickly, just to make sure everybody's up to date with everything. Again, I'm not going to say this with any sort of confidence or conviction because I don't think it's realistic, to be honest. According to a report in Football Transfers, Sporting Lisbon's Morten Ilmund is under consideration by United amid their search for a defensive midfielder. After wrapping up the services of Joshua Zirkzee, Lenny Yoro earlier this month, United are now looking to add fresh blood to the midfield department. They are continuing to be heavily linked with Paris Saint-Germain's Manuel Ugarte and have expressed interest in Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi. However, it is now claimed that they are running the rule over Danish international Hjulmand, who has been linked with a move to Old Trafford earlier this year. The Dane is a defensive midfielder, but is not believed to be as aggressive in his play as Ugarte. Hjulmand reportedly has a release clause of 69 million. I saved the best till last. 69 million release clause, forget it. We're not going near 50 for bleeding Ugarte. So, yeah, that is a story that is there. You guys are up to date with it. In terms of how realistic that is, well, yeah, let's be honest. We do have another update from Florian Plettenberg regarding Paris Saint-Germain's Manuel Ugarte. Again, I'm just going to read that one out. I'm going through all of the news and the latest tweets and updates on all of the sites around, guys, so you're up to date. United have made several offers for Paris Saint-Germain Manuel Ugarte, according to German reporter Florian Plettenberg. Manchester United, they have all been too low. Paris Saint-Germain still demanding 70 million euros for Ugarte. It's pretty much what we said this morning. A few more people jumping onto this and saying that that's where we're at with it. In terms of Ugarte, PSG, we're nowhere near it, basically. And there is going to be a severe standard. Like, if Scott McTominay stays, if Casemiro stays, then Ugarte doesn't come in. There's no room. There's no room for him. If you look, Manchester United right now, we thought Scott was going. We thought Casemiro was going. We didn't think we were going to bring Amrabat back. We're now in talks to bring Amrabat back on a loan. Casemiro's staying. Scott McTominay's staying unless something changes. And Collier's coming through. All of a sudden, United's midfield is packed. Whether you think it's quality enough or not, there's up for debate again. But still, United need to sell players. And if we don't, then we cannot bring in Ugarte. And that price tag that PSG has set is definitely not going to be met. So, as we are, it is not happening with Ugarte right now. There's nothing moved at all. I don't know how Manchester United convinced PSG. They've stood firm for over a week now. So, right as we look at it, it's just not on the table. Hjulmand, I think that's just a pipe dream. A bit like Zubimendi, I don't think United have the money to trigger Zubimendi's 50 million. We're not willing to go near that for Ugarte, so why would we for anybody else? The option and the only way out of this right now for United to bring anyone else in of significance is Mr. Jadon Sancho and that situation. That's the one that's holding all of... That's the one that's locked all the doors. And if that goes through, them doors open in the transfer window for United. Amino with another super chat. Thank you, mate. Will you do a collaboration work with Flex? Watch this space. We have no issues with Flex. Like you said, we've had Said on the channel as well. More than happy to do work with Flex. Me and him get on really well. And in the future, we will be doing some content. Stay tuned to match day stuff and things like that, as we're both match going fans. So yeah, there will be other bits of content coming out. Like I said, transfer season is a bit different. Once the season starts, the content seems to take on a life of its own, and it does change up a little bit again. I'm really looking forward to starting the season now. Excited with what's happened in this transfer window. And I'll just take this opportunity again to say, look, let's not panic. There are things in motion. There are a lot of moving parts, and Manchester United are in a good position. They're better than quite a few. I'd rather be in United's position than Liverpool's position right now. And that's saying something, because they're in the Champions League. But if we're going to round up transfer windows, who is top right now so far? Like, Man United fans moaning about what's going on. Like, are we not ahead of everyone else in the top 8 right now in terms of significant signings? You could argue Aston Villa. If they get João Felix through the door, they're looking tasty. They're looking very tasty. But it's not done yet. Like a couple of deals that United could get. But yeah. I do want to announce the winner of the 50k. Yesterday, guys, we reached 50,000 subscribers. Massive achievement. Big thank you to everybody. All of your comments over the last few days. I've not got to them all, but I just want to say, again, huge thank you to you all. We do have a winner, though, and that has gone to one of the main people in the live chat. Always there in the live chat. And that prize has gone to... Bum-ba-da-bum. Cornish Made, you won the competition yesterday. A shirt of your choice. First, second, or third kit is yours. All I need you to do is comment on this. Please comment on this video below, Cornish, when the video is finished, and I will send you the details to contact me. I just want to read out actually what Cornish Made said, which was quite significant, and I think why it got so much reaction to it and why she won the prize is Adam has a brilliant show here, and from what I can see, it is virtually everyone is very respectful to each other. Adam answers as many comments in the chat, whether a member or not, which is somewhat different from other channels. Unfortunately, there will always be someone who comes into the chat and is disrespectful. However, the mods here are brilliant, excellent channel. Everybody absolutely love it. If there was a comment to win a prize, that I think everyone can agree pretty much takes it. There's not a chance anyone is going to beat that, and I'm absolutely made up that it was Cornish Made who got the prize. Absolutely brilliant, and yeah, I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing. And there she is in the chat as well. She just responded, so please put a comment in. I think it's Melissa, is it the real name? Melissa, please put a comment in below on this video. Once the live is finished, I'll come back to you with the details of how to contact me, and we'll get you one of them shirts sent out. You can let me know which one you want to pick as well. Red, blue or white, your choice. Just don't go on MTV with it, MUTV with it even. If you know, you know. That was something from the weekend. And that rounds up our show, guys. Please give the video a like. We're nearly at that 250 live mark. We want 500 on this video. Please, everybody, make sure you are subscribed to Forever United TV. We are on the way. Actually, we've got another super chat quickly. We could have made him eat a bounty. Mark, you missed out, mate. Sorry, but thanks for the super chat. I'll go and buy myself a toffee crisp with that one, mate. Cheers, bud. And that's us all finished, guys. Subscribe, leave the video a like. Let's get that 250 up. And do get your comments in below. There's a lot going on right now, but on this channel, we just say it as it is. And we're honest. We're not making garbage up. We're just reading reports. We're giving our opinions on them. And we go from there. Thank you all again Cheers, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your afternoon. We'll be back at 6:30 tonight with more Man United live updates. Let's do it, people.